Welcome back to Game 2 of this NAC doubleheader between the Lakeland Muskies and the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. I'm Aaron Schellen. My partner is David Cooper. And Game 1, for fatigue set in that sixth inning, and the Muskies were able to get to the right-hander and tag him for 6 runs. 5 of them were earned, but we get right back at it here with Game 2. And getting the start in Game 2 is your buddy, Alejandro Garcia.
Yeah, I think this will be his first start of the year.
First official start, yep.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a couple of appearances where he's come in behind John Gorey, who started in those bullpen sorts of games that we've seen so far. But they likely will reverse that order. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Gorey after Gary at this point. But his first official start, I know he's amped up for it. He had no idea he was starting going in today. I asked him this morning, I said, who's going Game 2? He said, I have no idea.
Turns out it's him.
Yep.
On the scene, good numbers for Garcia so far this year. This is his 8th appearance. He's 2-1 with an ERA of 3.5. 17 2/3 innings, only 12 hits allowed, 13 strikeouts. Opponents batting just .211 off this right-hander. And Lakeland getting ready, looking for the sweep here, this doubleheader. And this is the lineup they'll send out there. Logan South started at second base in Game 1. We'll do the catching here in Game 2. Oakley Spence is the second baseman. We'll bat second. Zach Keegan bats third and plays third. Tucker Gegenferter is batting cleanup and is the pitcher in Game 2. Sean Gregorius moves from behind the plate out to left field, batting 5th. Riley Roberts goes from DH to first base, batting 6th. Dylan Costello in right field, hitting 7th. The shortstop, Caleb Sumsian, bats 8th. And the center fielder, Chris Ray, will bat 9th against Alejandro Garcia, who starts Logan South off with a strike. South was 0 for 3 in Game 1. He walked twice, both times in that 6th inning. Both times scored in that 6th inning. He rolls it to Michael Paxson. Pax steps on the bag, 1 up, 1 down here in the first.
Good start there. That's what we're going to want to see. We're gonna talk a lot about this game, inevitably limiting that big inning.
Yeah.
You know, they were off to a hot start last game, not allowing really any big innings, and then it blew up in the 6th. So that's going to be the narrative here today from our side, looking at this matchup between the Scarlet Hawks and the Muskies.
And the first 5 innings for Joe Bellflower in Game 1 were just fantastic. 5 innings. He only threw 49 pitches through the first 5 innings of the game. He allowed just 3 hits, 1 run. He struck out 4. And, you know, if you pull the plug at that point, I don't think anybody would have argued, given that was his first start of the season. By the same token, I don't think anybody would have argued giving him the opportunity to go back out there for the 6th and try to give him 6th. But The wheels just fell off in a hurry before the Scarlet Hawks could react to it. They were down big, and they ended up winning that game. But more the same here, right? We need low-pitch, efficient innings from Garcia here to try to get you know, maybe 3, given that he pitched 2 innings just the other day.
Yeah, I think 3 is probably a reasonable goal, and that's probably what they're looking for out of him, but you'll take too strong. It might also be a situation where they're like, hey, you're going to face the lineup for the first time, and then once we get to the second time through the lineup, we're going to go to another guy.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see.
1-2, it's driven to left, but that'll hook foul. Yeah, you pitch well, you get through the lineup, you know, one time, you know, midway through that 3rd inning, if you can get 2 1/3, 2 2/3, something like that at a Garcia here. I think you take that, but you know, almost as importantly here in this game too is the Scarlet Hawk offense needs to take advantage of some of these opportunities. They scored 2 runs, had the bases loaded in the 1st inning. In Game 1, had Thor Dunham on the ropes, if Matt Bovee had been able to come up with a hit, all of a sudden a 2-1 game becomes 4-1, 5-1, and things look a little different. This is blooped into shallow center field behind Jack Fryer and ahead of Tyler Gutzfeld for a 1-out single here in the first for Oakley Spence. So it's a combination, right? I mean, you said this in Game 1. A lot has to go wrong if you're going to give up 10 runs in an inning, and a lot went wrong in that inning. But it wasn't just that inning. There were instances where the Scarlet Hawks had opportunities. They had a runner thrown out at the plate. They left them loaded in the first. So there were opportunities on the offensive side as well to add runs to their total of 4. And, you know, they got to take advantage of that here in Game 2. Nice block by Phillip Benson. He just continues to impress behind home plate. He must have done that 8 or 9 times in Game 1.
Yeah, talking about, Illinois Tech limiting the big inning, what we want to see from the offense is them put up that big inning. They're able to scratch across a couple runs but never really turn that into the snowball with, a couple of outs like Wilkes getting thrown out of the plate, just a couple of other things that limits that possibility of turning into a big inning. So that's what we want to see, on the offensive side opposed from just limiting it on the defensive side.
2 balls, no strikes here on Keegan. It's popped up. Fryer calls off Bovey. Jack makes the catch, 2 outs. Another pitcher, Tucker Gegenferter. Gegenfertner 0 for 4 in game 1. Came in leading the team in hitting. The .409 batting average. Comes up with a runner at first and 2 outs here in the first. First pitch swinging, fouled out of play.
Yeah, Illinois Tech able to limit the threat of Gegenfertner in game 1. Like you said, he was 1 for 4 with a walk and a single. Got a strikeout in there as well. So
they got the runner picked off. Spence will head down. The throw was a little towards the shortstop side of the bag from Paxson, and Spence will steal the base. And did exactly what you're taught to do, right? When you get picked off, just keep going.
Might as well. No point in turning around towards the first baseman that's standing there with the baseball.
He's down at second now with 2 outs. Yeah, and you look at the line score for game 1, and there really wasn't anybody on Lakeland that tore things up for the Muskies. They just had the one big inning where they strung together, I think it was 7 straight hits at one point in that 6th inning, and it was just the entire lineup contributing in that one inning.
Right. You also have a handful of missed opportunities, 4 walks, so when you're not able to collect easy outs, then you can also string together 7 hits, good things happen.
Line drive over the head of Bovey into right field. That'll get down for a hit. DeGroot will field it. He'll throw it into the middle of the infield, and it's a RBI single for Tucker Gegenferter, and Lakeland takes a 1-0 lead. So the pitcher helping his own cause. And just one more note on that game 1. Lakeland had more hits in that 6th inning than they did in the other 8 innings combined. So, again, it just goes to show that all it takes is one good inning to secure that W for you. And here in game 2, Lakeland jumps on Alejandro Garcia for a couple of hits and a run as Gegenfertner drives in Oakley Spence to make it 1-0. Here's a ground ball in the hole. Diving stop by Fryer, but he's not going to have a play. Gegenferter will go down to second. Gregorius will pick up an infield single. 3 hits here in the inning. And now it's Riley Roberts. Roberts in game 1, 1 for 4. Had a double. Had the big hit in that 6th inning, a 2-run double to right. He also struck out 3 times. Garcia trying to limit this to 1. Roberts swings and misses, and this is right out of the chute. We talk about the big inning. This is a chance for Garcia to stem the bleeding right here at 1.
Yeah, there's a couple guys that Coach Ed Ziefert turns to in a stop-the-bleeding scenario. Garcia is one of those guys. Obviously, he's gotten the start here, so he's kind of relying on himself to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, and just give him a couple of good innings and see if the offense can get off to a hot start. There's a couple of changes in the lineup in terms of where some of the guys are hitting, so see if that has an impact. Here's another line drive into left field. That'll get down for a base hit. Gegenfertner will make the turn, and he will score. It's 3 straight singles off of Garcia here in the first inning. It's an RBI single for Riley Roberts. And it's 2-0 Lakeland.
Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 42, Dylan Costello.
Now Dylan Costello, the right fielder.
None of those singles hit particularly hard, and we talked a lot about the last game about missing barrels instead of missing bats, and that's very much to Gary's formula, but sometimes it just doesn't. Sometimes guys are just going to find holes, and that's just how it is.
First pitch to Costello. Fastball pins the outside corner at the knees, 0-1. Seventh man to hit in the inning. Muskie's had a runner at second with 2 outs. Garcia was just 1 out away from getting out of 1 pitch away from getting out of it, but 3 straight singles have plated a couple. Swing and a miss, and really could have gotten out of it with no damage if the throw from Paxson to Fryer down at second on that pickoff attempt had been on the money. But again, a game of inches. 0-2 now on Costello. Garcia fires. Fastball paints the outside corner, called strike 3. So Garcia able to get out of it, but Lakeland picks up a couple of runs on 4 hits. They strand 2, half an inning in the books. Muskies 2, Scarlet Hawks coming up. Illinois Tech about ready to take their first cuts here at Tucker Gegenfertner. Gegenfertner, we talked about his offensive prowess. On the mound, 1-2, an ERA of 6.94. This is his 6th start of the season, 23 1/3 innings. He's given up 33 hits. He has 21 Ks and 9 walks on the year. And the lineup he'll face in Game 2 looks a little different. Tyler Gutzfeld moves from the number 2 hole up to the leadoff spot, playing center field. Michael Paxson moves from number 3 to number 2 at first base. Jack Fryer drops from 1 to 3, playing short. Jack Finch, the cleanup hitter, bats 4th, plays 3rd. Jonah Wilkes, the DH, will bat 5th. Phillip Bentz does the catching, hitting 6th. Christopher DeGroot out in right field, batting 7th. The second baseman, Matt Bovey, hits 8th. And Luke Yaknin in left field, batting 9th. And Tyler Gutzfeld will deposit a leadoff single into right field here in the first. Now Michael Paxson. Paxson 1 for 4 in Game 1. Just talk to him about his bat.
I didn't get a chance to talk to him about his bat.
New bat, potentially.
That's what we're thinking. It looks new, at least.
Had 2 near home runs in Game 1. One he hooked about 420 feet foul down the left field line, which had me fooled. Second one was out to right center field, where Chris Day banged into the fence after making the catch. Ball away.
Yeah, Gegenfertner's kind of got a sidearm slot here, almost like a 3/4 slot. Seen a lot of towards the righty, and then that was the first slider we've seen there, moving in the opposite direction. So far seeing a 2-pitch mix. There's a slider again. Okay, there we go. We're good.
We're good. Sorry about that. Had a bit of a stream hiccup. You missed 1 pitch. It was a ball inside to Fryer. 1 ball, no strikes on Jack with Gutzfeld at first. Line drive into center field. That gets down for a base hit. So a couple of hard singles here in the first inning by Gutzfeld and Fryer. And the Scarlet Hawks have 2 on with 1 out. We'll see if they can take advantage and string together some hits like Lakeland did in the top of the first. The third baseman, Jack Finch, who went 2 for 4 with an RBI in game 1. Freshman has that average north of 300. Ball 1 down and away. Egenfertner will give up contact. I mentioned 33 hits in 23 innings.
Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see how he does against lefties because that fastball that he shows is going to break about 6 inches away from the lefties. Gutt's able to put a good swing out so far, and so does Finch.
Puts a good swing into this one. And the over-the-shoulder catch made by Chris Day. And Tyler Gutzfeld will race into third base, but good piece of hitting by Finch. Better catch by Day out in center field. 2 outs. Caught that like a wide receiver out there in right center field.
Yeah.
Runners at the corners with 2 outs for Jonah Wilkes. Jonah 1 for 4 in game 1.
Jonah's on a little bit of a streak. Has a couple of hits in against UChicago on Tuesday, and 2 hits in the doubleheader Thursday.
He's riding a 4-game hit streak right now. That'll go to the backstop. Here comes Gutzfeld hustling in. The backhand play at the plate. Not held onto by Gegenferter, and the hustle from Tyler Gutzfeld on the wild pitch gets the run in for Illinois Tech, and it's 2-1. Close play at the plate, but the speed from Gutzfeld, which is something we don't talk a ton about, with his average and his power and his play in the outfield. He's pretty darn quick as well, and he showed that there getting down the third baseline. The 1-0 here to Wilkes. Jonah in the hole to short. Sumsian has it in time to retire the Illinois Tech designated hitter. Scarlet Hawks get a run on 2 hits. They strand a runner. 1 down. Scarlet Hawks down by a run. Two runs on 4 hits in the top of the first inning for Lakeland off of Alejandro Garcia. Scarlet Hawks got a run on 2 in their half of the first. So we go to the second with Illinois Tech down 2-1. Caleb Sumsian, the number 8 hitter and shortstop, will lead things off in the second against Garcia. Gave up 4 singles, struck out a batter in that first inning. Sumsian in game 1, 1 for 3. Scored 2 runs. Both of those runs he scored in the 6th. And that's a line drive back up the middle. Sumsian not wasting any time. First pitch swinging, base hit to center field. 5th hit already for the Muskies off of Garcia.
Hey, you can tell Gary's not too pleased with that one. Just a fastball over the middle. Got hit right over his head, and he kind of comes off like smiling, like, I shouldn't have thrown that one to him.
He's listed at 5'10". If he's 6'1", he probably makes that catch. Here's Chris Day, the center fielder. Squares the bunt, offers at it. The throw down to first, and the high throw. And Paxton's able to field it without a problem, and Sumsian back in safely. So it's 0-1 on Day, who was 0 for 2 with a couple of walks in game 1. Fastball up and away, 1-1. Garcia with the high set. Over to first. Not a big lead over there by Sumsian. Only about a stride or so off the bag, but Garcia trying to keep him close. The 1-1. It's popped up. Paxton into foul territory. He leaves our field of view, and I don't think he made the catch this time. Nope.
I think that one's out of play.
Once it passes the dugout, I lose visibility, so I wait for the reaction of his teammates to decide whether or not, or to determine what happened. It's 1-2. Garcia today. Nope, back over to first, and this time, he had Sumsian leaning, and it looked like he had him over there at first.
Had him jumping. I think that's called a new school lead is what that's called, where they're like barely off first base right now, and then he's going to take a couple hard steps, try and time up the pitcher. And Gary was able to time up the pickoff when Sumsian was taking those couple hard
jump,
steps. Yeah, and he's just able to have some quick feet over there at first base, get back.
Still 1-2. Fastball up and in. Backs Day off a bit, 2-2. Scarlet Hawks looking to snap a 2-game skid here. Split the doubleheader in game 2. That one stays up 3-2.
Gary's last outing was only 2 days ago on Thursday through 2 innings. 1K, didn't allow any runs on 2 hits.
Fouled straight back.
So you have to wonder how that's going to play into his start here today, coming off short rest.
He's up over 20 pitches now through an inning plus, and it's one of the things we talked about, right? You want short, efficient at-bats and efficient innings, and pitch count going up here a little bit. It's good at bat by Day. That's going to be strike 3 on the outside corner. It's the same pitch he got Costello on to end the first inning. That fastball outside corner at the knees called strike 3. Second strikeout for Garcia. First out here in the second. And that'll be the catcher, Logan South.
Yeah, that's his bread and butter. And to righties, because he has a little bit of that two-seam action like I was talking about with Gegenferter. And if you can locate that to where it ends up on the outside corner to a righty, it's never a strike until the last 6 inches that it's coming across the zone, and it makes it really hard to pull the trigger.
Sumsian at first with 1 out here in the second. Garcia down and in. South fouls it right at the plate. 0-1. Scarlet Hawks 8-12 on the year, 4-3 in NAC play. Lakeland 10-12 on the year, 4-5 in conference play. That's blocked off the shoulder of Bentz, and Sumsian will take second on the wild pitch. Nothing Bentz could do about that one. That just bounced up, hit him in the right shoulder, and scooted off by the Illinois Tech dugout.
Yeah, sometimes they just get away from you. You do everything you can to get your body in front, and hits a rock or, hits off your shoulder pad too hard and ends up a little bit too far, allows the runner to advance.
So 1-1 now, runner at second. It's dropped over the outside corner for a strike. 1-2. Two strikeouts for Garcia so far. 5 singles allowed. But so far the damage has been limited to just the 2. Back to second. An interesting little play there is Fryer was the one kind of bouncing behind the runner at second. He went back to his second base position. Then Matt Bovey came over to try to catch Samsian sleeping there a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think that was planned. I think that was just Bovey realizing, oh, Gary's picking off here. I gotta
get over and cover the bag.
Yeah.
1-2 fastball missing away.
I mean, to some extent, they both saw Assumption taking extra steps. You hear the third base coach yelling, like, you're good, you're good. And so, like, to the defense, that's a cue, like, okay, we can pick off here.
2-2. Downstairs, 3-2. 0-2 to 3-2 here for Logan South. Catcher in game 2.
A couple long ABs here in a row. Good AB by Day. Ultimately ended up in a strikeout, but here's another full count for South.
Yeah, and if you're Lakeland, that's what you want to do, right? Get through the kind of the thick outer shell of this Illinois Tech bullpen with Garcia and maybe John Gorey, and then get into some of the pitchers who maybe have struggled a little bit more this year as Garcia walks south. Put runners on first and second with 1 out for Oakley Spence.
Right, we've seen in weeks past where you're on more of a normal schedule of a Saturday game and then a Tuesday or Wednesday game. You'll see Cameron and Carson Weiss start one day, and then on the other days when Gorey and Gary start or a Joe Bellflower starts like today, you'll see Cam and Carson come back and maybe throw a couple innings of relief.
Yeah.
We saw that against Rockford last time, and the challenge is that Cam and Carson both had to start Thursday this week since they're off schedule, so it makes it a little bit more unlikely that they're going to come in for an inning or two of relief today. And so for Lakeland, if they can wear down Garcia and possibly Gorey, it's going to be a chess match here to see what pitchers take the mound for the Scarlet Hawks.
Who's going to get the ball and get the job done for the Scarlet Hawks? That's going to be the question here in game 2. 1-1 from Garcia is lined out to right center field. DeGroot is over. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. 2 outs now for Zach Keegan. Keegan popped out to short his first time up. 2 outs, runners at first and second. Garcia trying to strand a couple of runners here in the second. He'll check on the runner at second. First pitch to Keegan is a fastball called strike 1. 1 ball, no strike. No balls, 1 strike. Let's try that again.
Five hits so far and a lot of traffic. Got 2 outs here.
That's popped up. Bentz over for it. Is he going to have a play? I don't think he will. Land foul, nothing in 2. Yeah, we talk about high leverage pitches or high stress pitches versus low stress pitches, right? And Joe Bellflower, the plan was for him to go 60 pitches, but he had only thrown 49 through 5 innings. He had retired everybody he faced. He was throwing nothing but strikes. Those are all very low stress pitches on the arm. Right. Here, Garcia is up to 38 pitches now through an inning and 2/3, but he's had runners on base the whole time. So a little bit more stressful 38 pitches than the 49 we saw from Bellflower in his first 5.
Yeah, and the thing is that with Garcia, he's used to it. He's a reliever at heart. He grew up, so I don't think it factors in nearly as much as it does for someone that's more used to that starter role.
Coming in with guys on base, right, and that sort of thing. That's
what he does.
Right.
It's who his identity is as a pitcher, so I don't think it bothers him as much. Obviously, it does take a toll on your arm nonetheless, but maybe not nearly as mentally as
1-2
starters.
And 1-2 fastball throws it past Keegan. 3rd strikeout for Garcia, and he gives Illinois Tech 2. Lakeland strands 2 more as we go to the bottom of the 2nd. Bottom of the 2nd, 2-1 Lakeland with the lead. Alejandro Garcia stranded 4 base runners through 2 innings, and now the offense will get their second opportunity here at Tucker Gegenfertner. It'll be Phillip Bentz, Christopher DeGroot, and Matt Bovey. That's 6, 7, 8. It'll be Phillip Bentz, who was 1 for 3 with an RBI in Game 1, currently riding a 7-game hit streak. Lined down the right field line, but that'll twist foul. No balls, 2 strikes quickly on the freshman backstop. This ball down and away, 1-2. That pitch twists well away as well, 2-0. The Scarlet Hawks had a couple of hits in that first inning. They were able to pick up 1 run via the pass ball. That one stays inside, called strike 3. Fooled Bentz a bit. First strikeout for Gegenfertner, 1 away here in the 2nd. Now Christopher DeGroot. DeGroot 4 for 13 this year. A double and a triple. Limited playing time. Getting an opportunity here in Game 2. This is his 10th game, his 5th start. And he'll smack this one out to straightaway center field. I don't think Day's going to get there. He won't. That'll roll up against the wall. DeGroot will hit second and stop at second. Chris DeGroot going the other way with a 1-out double here in the 2nd.
Now batting the second baseman, 33.
Give that one a ride.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there. Able to split the gap between left and right field, and a little bit of juice from the freshman. You like to see that.
That's his second double of the season. He's now 5 for 14 on the season, and with the struggles of the offense lately, if he has a big game here today, you gotta, you talked about this, right? Practice, you get an opportunity to make a name for yourself and get an opportunity in games. Well, if you come into games and perform, you get an opportunity to perform.
Yeah, that's the best way to secure a starting spot is have a good day when you are starting.
And go out there, take an opposite field into the gap, pick up a double in your first at bat. Bovee to third. Nice play there by Keegan. He'll throw it across the diamond. The throw back to third, not in time to get DeGroot. So Bovee grounds out 5-3. DeGroot moves to third. And that'll bring up Luke Yaknin now.
Now batting left fielder, number 3, Luke Yaknin.
This is where Illinois Tech needs to figure something out. You get that runner at third base here. You need a big 2-out hit. Keep that line moving, get the game tied. Luke Yaknin at the plate. First pitch is a strike. Luke came into the doubleheader today hitting over 360. He's 0 for 4 in game 1. He's at 340 now on the year as a home run and 7 RBI. Swings over the top of the off-speed pitch. Nothing in 2.
Yeah, to your point, last game, the Scarlet Hawks stranded 7 over the course of that game, so you'd like to be able to see that convert some of those into runs.
Yaknin goes down on 3 pitches, so Gegenfertner gives up the 1-out double, strands a runner at third. We're through 2 here at Illinois Tech. Scarlet Hawks down 2-1. Back here, top of the third inning. Tucker Gegenfertner, the pitcher, will lead things off. He had an RBI single in the first. 1 of 5 hits off of Alejandro Garcia through 2, but he's only given up the 2 runs as the Muskies have stranded 2 in each of the first 2 innings. First pitch swinging, popped up. Paxton should have room for this one. And he makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. And that's exactly what Garcia needed, a quick out here in the third inning.
Left fielder number 25, Sean Gregorius.
He was at 43 pitches through 2 innings.
Yeah, we're going to need a quick one here. Get the Scarlet Hawks back in the dugout, still trailing a run.
Here's Sean Gregorius, the left fielder. He had an infield single his first time up. Takes the first pitch over for a strike. 0-1.
That's where you want to be. Gary's settled in a little bit better here. Obviously, we talked about how this is his first start. He's not necessarily used to starting, so maybe a little bit of different mental process for him, but he's been able to get the fastball to the outside corner, and that's really where he makes his money, and it just misses there, but You're going to see him miss there. You know, when you're going after the outside corner, you're not going to get there all the time.
Yeah.
But those are competitive misses. So, like, from the pitching coach perspective, you're like, I can live with those, right?
1 ball, 1 strike. That one more outside, 2-1. 4 singles in that first inning. 3 of them came after 2 outs. Gave up a leadoff single in the second. Walked a batter, but stranded them both after picking up a couple of Ks in that inning. 2-1 here in Gregorius. Hit foul and out of play, 2-2. That's one of those competitive misses there because that ball was off the plate, but it was close enough that Gregorius felt the need to offer at it.
Right.
2-2. Pop back and out of play. Stays 2-2. Garcia looking for strikeout number 3. A 2-2 pitch here to Gregorius. Flied out to right. DeGroot has room. Makes the catch head high. 2 up, 2 down here in the third.
First baseman, number 28, Riley Roberts.
Now Riley Roberts. Roberts the first baseman here in Game 2. Had an RBI single in the first. Has 3 RBI in the doubleheader. He had the big hit in that 10-run, or one of the big hits, I guess, is they had 7 in a row. One of the big hits in that 10-run 6th inning in Game 1. He had a 2-run double. First pitch fastball is a strike, 0-1. 4 in a row now retired by Garcia, and you said it, seems like he's settling into this. More than likely right as his day is probably coming to an end as well. So you feel like, all right, well, he's starting to get comfortable. Let's let him cook here. But obviously you got to pay attention to that pitch count. And given that he didn't pitch much last year with an injury, those are all things you got to take into account.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he gets through this one clean, what they decide to do.
He's up 0-2 here on Roberts. Garcia isn't ready. The 0-2. Line drive over the head of Matt Bovey into right field for a base hit. So Roberts now 2-for-2. Hit number 6 of Game 2 here for the Muskies. All singles. Now the right fielder, Dylan Costello. Yeah, that was pitch 50 for Garcia here in his 3rd inning of work. Costello now 1 for 6 in the doubleheader. Ball 1 down and away. Fastball a little high this time. 2-0 now on Costello. Garcia has walked 1. But I think ultimately, given Ed Ziefert exactly what he wanted here in Game 2, he's pitched into the 3rd. He's 1 out from getting through the 3rd, giving up just a pair of runs. Fouled out of play, 2-1.
It definitely hasn't done it without traffic.
Yeah, and he's making himself work. That is for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, he does a great job at stranding runners, right? We've already seen 4 runners stranded between the 1st and the 2nd, and see if he can strand another one here.
Well, I mean, I think that speaks to I mean, you've talked about the type of pitcher he is. He doesn't get rattled. He's experienced enough. He's pitched in enough games that when he gets a couple of guys on, he's not. Like an incoming freshman who maybe starts to get a little jittery out there with runners on base. He knows what he wants to do, and he just continues to execute with runners on base or without. The 2-2. Fastball threw it past Costello, strikes him out. 4th strikeout of the afternoon for Garcia. Gets us through 2.5. Bottom of the third inning, Scarlet Hawks will send the top of their order up here against Tucker Gegenfertner for the second time. Gegenfertner threw 2, has given up 3 hits and a run. He struck out a couple last inning, and he'll face Tyler Gutzfeld leading things off here in the third. Gutzfeld 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored back in the first. Breaking ball on the outside corner, called a strike, 0-1. Tyler singled to right in the first. Ended up at third, scored on a pass ball, lofts this one pretty well to left, and not able to make the play out there in left field is Gregorius, and Gutzfeld will coast into second with an opposite field double. And he pulls the ball so often that you saw Lakeland in that instance shifted a little bit towards right, and he sliced that one to where the left fielder normally would have been playing.
Right.
The leadoff double here for Guts. He's got back-to-back multi-hit games here in this doubleheader. He's 4 for 7 now in the 2 games, and now Michael Paxson in an RBI opportunity. Paxson aggressive, swings at the first pitch, 0-1.
Yeah, good slider there. He's not going to hit that one. It looks like a strike, and then it's not a strike once it crosses the zone.
Paxson, another pop-up. This one to shallow right. Costello racing in. That lands in no man's land. And ball being held on to. They do finally get it in. It'll be a single to right for Paxson. Gutzfeld had to hold up to see if it would be caught. But Scarlet Hawks have something cooking here in the third. Runners at the corners, nobody out for Jack Fryer. Leading RBI man coming up in an RBI situation here.
Is that well known as the Bermuda Triangle?
I think any whether it's left field, center field, and shortstop, or center field, right field, and second base, that's just what it's known as. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if that was only a thing that I had heard and picked up somewhere.
No, I think anytime it lands between 3 defenders like that, that's just sort of what it's called. There goes Paxson from first. The throw down, not in time. The throw back home is not in time. Tyler Gutzfeld on the delayed steal of home ties the game at 2. So the Scarlet Hawks using their legs to get this game even. I like the aggressiveness. Having trouble stringing together multiple hits in a row, so you use your legs. Stolen base number 5 for Paxson. And stolen base number 5 for Gutzfeld.
Yeah, didn't really see it too much in the first game. We've talked in previous games about how Illinois Tech will run and be pretty aggressive on the base pass, but didn't really come into play too much. So,
yeah, Scarlet Hawks 46 stolen bases this season in 20 games. But yeah, I mean, in that first game, again, not really any opportunities.
Right.
Not much offense through the first 6 innings, and when you're down 11-2, you're not going to steal a lot of bases because you won't be thrown out on the base paths.
Right.
But they use their legs here to get the game even. Fryer with a runner at second and a 2-1 count. Jack 2 for 6 in the doubleheader. There goes Paxson for third, and he'll steal third. So Michael Paxson, known for that power bat, showing off the legs here in Game 2, stealing second, stealing third. He's there with nobody out, and a 3-1 count on Fryer. Gegenfertner now. Inside, ball 4. Fryer reaches for a second time today. First walk for Gegenfertner at runners at the corners, and you can expect Fryer probably off before too long. He leads the team in steals this season. Well, Scarlet Hawks trying to jump out in front here in the third. Fryer 9 for 9 this season in stolen bases. Finch hit a fly ball to center field. It was run down out there by Chris Day.
Yep, Lakeland knows that he's going to probably be on the move, hence the pickoff.
Not on this pitch. That's chopped on the infield, fielded there by Sumsia, and his only play is to first. And in from third comes Paxson on the productive out by Jack Finch. The freshman picks up an RBI, and the Scarlet Hawks have a 3-2 lead. Finch, that's RBI number 10 on the season, and got the job done. Not only got the run home, but also got Fryer into scoring position. So now Jonah Wilkes. 2 runs in here in the third. Called strike, 0-1. Fryer bouncing around down at second base. Long look, the 0-1 to Jonah. Is a little low, little in, 1-1.
A couple of sliders to start off the AB there.
Second time through the lineup, you gotta mix things up a little bit.
Mix it up. Hasn't been able to put it in the zone as often as he would like to. Pickoff move that is not nearly in enough time. Fryer saw that one coming.
So 1-1 strike, 1 out here in the third inning. Fryer at second. Illinois Tech with 2 runs in. They lead 3-2. That's hit foul out of play, 1-2. Wilkes 1 for 4 in game 1. Extended his hitting streak to 4 with a single. The 1-2 now. Gegenfertner. Hit hard on a line to the shortstop. Caleb Sumsian, who squeezes the mitt, and Fryer's able to get back into second base. Hit hard by Wilkes, but just right at the shortstop. 2 outs.
Almost a golf swing there with a slider that's about at his shoelaces. Word on the street is that Jonah is a tremendous golfer, so maybe that's where that
He's
comes
just
from.
comfortable doing that. Comfortable swinging at the balls down by his shoe tops. Here's Bentz. He struck out looking to lead off the second. Opportunity to drive in a run here in the third. First pitch stays up, 1-0. Bentz at .322 on the season before his 0 for 1 today. Fastball up, 2-0 now.
What I really like about Bentz as a freshman hitter is that he doesn't expand the zone too much. You know, you see that a lot out of freshman hitters, really trying to get outside of themselves and trying to do too much, be that guy, solidify their spot in the lineup. You don't see that out of Phillip. He has a good eye, swings at pitches that he wants to swing at. Another late pickoff attempts. Fryer will dive in that time, but plenty of time.
And comes up smiling like he always does. 2 balls, no strikes.
He's flattered that they're thinking about
They're
him.
paying attention to him. 2-0. In the dirt, 3-0. Yeah, Bentz, .322 batting average, on-base percentage north of .410. And you like that as your catcher. Little bit of extra base power, has 3 doubles on the season. That's spiked in the dirt for ball 4. Second walk of the inning by Gegenfertner, and that puts 2 runners on here in the third. For Chris DeGroot. First time up, Chris. Went a little Oppo Taco, went out to left center field. Picked up a double. He has 3 RBI this season. To go along with now his 3 extra base hits and just 14 at bats. So productive when he's gotten the opportunities.
Yeah, no doubt. You don't often see a freshman with a batting average north of 300, and you got 2 back-to-back in the lineup here, as well as DeGroot's OPS. Looking at his OPS, 976 OPS.
Hey, you like that?
Yeah.
He's got Fryer at second, Bentz at first. 2 outs in the third. Strike one on the outside edge. Egenfertner. Inside outs the ball over to the Lakeland dugout. 0-2 quickly on the freshman Christopher DeGroot. DeGroot from Kaukawana, Wisconsin. I don't know where that is. Slow breaking ball down and in, 1-2. Even though DeGroot went to left center field his last time up, the center fielder Chris Day is about 15 steps over towards right center field. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. The 1-2. Low for a ball, 2-2. The right fielder Dylan Costello is about 10 steps from the right field foul line. I guess advanced analytics suggest that Christopher DeGroot is a dead pull hitter.
I guess so.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. DeGroot does pull it, and right at the second baseman, Oakley spends. So last 2 outs of the inning were absolute lasers, but one was to the shortstop, one was to the second baseman. We're through 3. Scarlet Hawks have taken the 3-2 lead. Alejandro Garcia's day is done after 3 very effective innings. He gave up 6 singles, a couple of runs. He walked 1, he struck out 4, and he turns it over to the hard-throwing right-hander, John Gorey, who's making his 8th appearance of the season. 0-1 for John, an ERA under 4, 3.86, 9 1/3 innings for John, 9 hits, 9 strikeouts, 7 walks. And that's what he does. Well, that heat is what he does, is he's going to break that ladder behind home plate.
He does that sometimes, too.
Upper 80s for John, 89, 88, 89 miles an hour on that fastball.
He told me he hit 90 a couple times in his last outing. Not Marion, but last time when they played Rockford at home,
in that start he had here, right?
Yeah, they clocked a couple 90s.
All right, good for him. So he's humping it up there a little bit. He was jazzed to be starting that day, I guess.
Yeah, I know that was a milestone for him. I don't think he'd ever hit 90 in game before, so he was excited about that.
And there's that smoke right there, 1-2 on Caleb Sumsian, who singled leading off the second. And when you got that kind of heat, if you can throw it for a strike, you can be very dangerous at the D3 level. 1-2 from Gorey. There it is again, right down the middle, called strike 3. 1 out here in the 4th. First strikeout for John. Now the center fielder, Chris Day.
Number 14, Chris Day.
I'm first thinking that maybe that first pitch to the backstop was on purpose. You show off a little wildness on that first pitch, get the guy thinking, and then just come back with 3 straight heaters.
I used to give him a little bit of a death stare when he would do that to me. When I was behind the plate and he would throw into the backstop, I would just I'd give him a look and he'd be like, "Okay, all right."
He's got to set the tone though, right? Is as big nasty with that right hand?
I don't think it's intentional at all. It's more that he just rears back and fires.
I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt here,
Yeah, I know him too well to give him the benefit of the doubt.
That's fair. That's fair.
But able to reel it back in, which he usually can, and picks up the K.
Yeah, and he's just fastball after fastball after fastball here, and the ones that are in the strike zone, Lakeland hasn't been able to do anything with so far.
Yeah, it's an interesting formula. We've talked about previously in his previous outings. He has a really good curveball as well. So there's occasions where you'll see when he's on the fastball too much that hitters or different teams will be able to make that adjustment to the fastball and then take it for a ride. And so that's when you see the curveball mixed in here. But, as far as him facing Lakeland for the first time in a couple years, see if they can hit the fastball.
Well, and especially just that first time through the lineup, right? Those adjustments are typically going to come that second time through the lineup. So if your fastball's on and you can get outs with it your first time through the lineup, you're better off just doing that.
Right. And
then using that curveball the second time through. Payoff pitch here today is going to be called strike 3. And Gorey, 2 batters, 2 strikeouts looking, nothing but smoke from number 23. 2 outs here in the 4th for Logan South.
Well, that's what you want to see, especially coming in to the game. You got the 8-9 hitter up.
You just challenge him, right?
Challenge him.
Here's Logan South 0 for 1 with a walk. South is able to hook that out to left center field. Tyler Gutsfeld makes the sliding catch to retire Lakeland. A quick 1-2-3 inning. Couple of Ks for John Gorey here in the 4th. Bottom 4, Illinois Tech with a 3-2 lead, and Tucker Gegenfertner back out there for his 4th inning of work. Scuffled a bit in that 3rd, gave up a couple of hits, walked a couple of batters. Illinois Tech used the legs to pick up a couple of runs, and now they have a 3-2 lead, and it'll be 8-9-1 here against Gegenfertner. That'll be Bovee, Yaknin, and Gutsfeld here in the 4th. First pitch to Matt is in for a strike. Bovee grounded to 3rd his first time up. Hits this one pretty well out to left center field. Gregorius will have room and he'll make the catch shy of the wall. 1 up, 1 down in the 4th.
Left fielder number 3, Luke Luke Yaknin.
Now Yaknin, he struck out swinging in the second inning. The runner at third and 2 outs. Scarlet Hawks have stranded 4 so far. Lakeland has stranded 5. Ball 1 to Luke. He's another one. If he can get on base, he can cause some things to happen with those legs. You know that Lakeland knows that. You see the third baseman, Zach Keegan, creeping in. He's even with the bag right now, but by the time the pitch is thrown, he's in on the grass. Ooh, 2-0 pitch. Looked low, called a strike.
Yep, Yaknin is no stranger to the drag bunt for a hit.
To the backstop, 3-1. Love to see Yaknin get on in front of Gutsfeld with the way he's been swinging in this doubleheader. And it's going to be strike 2. A couple of close pitches called strikes. Either or both could have been called a ball, I think. Yep. Payoff pitch now to Yaknin. Gegenfertner, 2 walks, 2 Ks. That's off the end of the bat, fielded by Roberts. He bobbles it, and Yaknin uses that speed to reach first on the E3. It looked like a pretty harmless ground ball down there to first, but Roberts struggled with it, and Yaknin beat it out.
Yeah, and you were just talking about Yaknin's speed. That's exactly what speed does, is with almost anybody else that doesn't have Yaknin's speed there, it's not too difficult to pick that ball up and beat somebody out at first base. But Yaknin just doesn't even give you the opportunity to do that. Have to field it cleanly there.
Puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Down and in to Tyler Gutsfeld. Guts 2 for 2 here in game 2 with a single, a double, a couple of runs scored, and a stolen base. 4 for 7 now in the doubleheader. He's got Yaknin at first with 1 out. We'll see if Illinois Tech can make Lakeland pay for that error. Grounded in the hole. That'll be another base hit. That'll also get through Costello into right field. He'll have to go back and chase it. Yaknin will hold up at third. So Tyler Gutsfeld with another 3-hit game. That is his 5th 3-hit game of the season. Single to right. The E9 will send Gutsfeld to second, Yaknin to third. And now Illinois Tech with a chance to do some damage here in the 4th with Michael Paxson up and 2 runners in scoring position. This is why you put him in that number 2 hole. A chance to drive in some runs here. He's 1 for 2 today with a single. Breaking ball in, called strike 1. Paxson was at 413 coming into play today. He's 1 for 2 here in game 2. We'll see that go up a bit. Chopped back to Guttenfertner. He'll throw to first, and that'll retire Paxson. He's now 1 for 3, and it'll take a 2-out hit from the freshman, Jack Fryer. Fryer's been up twice. He's been on twice. Singled in the first, walked in the third. Needs a hit here. Fryer takes the pitch down and away. Jack been batting leadoff most of the year this year. He's in the number 3 hole here for game 2. Team's leading RBI guy with 20.
I think that's part of the reason they moved him into the 3 hole. You see that he's picking up all the RBIs. You're like, hey, let's let Paxson Guts get on for him and then let him pick up some more RBIs.
Yeah, we'll flip it around instead of him getting on for the other 2. And Yaknin at third, Gutsfeld at second, and a 2-0 count here on Fryer. Make it 3-0. Freshman Jack Finch waits in the on-deck circle.
It's always fun to see how coaches experiment with the lineups, through the course of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if something's not working, maybe flip these 2 guys, give this guy a shot. 3-0 on Jack is in for a strike, 3-1.
I think it more has to do with the monotony of it.
Okay.
You know, like when we've seen the Hawks offense be lackadaisical of late. And, you know, sometimes just from the head coach's perspective, a little bit of a reshuffle, get guys in a little bit of a different position, can be a good reset button.
Baseball's a grind, right? The season, whether you're talking a 40-game D3 season or 162-game Major League Baseball season, baseball's a grind. And sometimes you just need that change of perspective to get you going in the right direction. So, big opportunity here for the freshman Jack Finch. He's 0 for 2 today. Flew out to center, had an RBI ground out. He has the bases loaded with 2 outs in the 4th. First pitch breaking ball misses away. So Jack Fryer's reached base 4 times in the doubleheader. So he's continuing to do what he did in the leadoff spot. He's just now doing it in the 3-hole. A single and 2 walks here for Jack in game 2. Now a quick meeting on the mound between Logan South and Tucker Gegenfertner. And a 1-0 count on Finch. Jack was at 316 coming into play today. Picked up his 10th RBI of the season his last time up with a ground out. The 1-0. Fastball called a strike, 1-1. Yachten at third, Gutsfeld at second, Fryer at first. 2 outs here in the 4th. Again, Fertner gets Finch swinging over the top of it, 1-2.
It's a good fastball right there. It's kind of what I was mentioning earlier about how his fastball is going to tail away from the lefties, just starts at the bottom of the zone and gets Finch to swing over it.
1-2. Grounded to the right side. Spence has it. And Illinois Tech will leave him loaded here in the 4th. They pick up a hit, a walk, an error, but they leave 3. We're through 4.
Second baseman, number 21.
We go to the 5th. John Gorey's 2nd inning of relief. He retired the side in order in the 4th. He struck out a pair. That's following Alejandro Garcia's 3 innings of 2-run ball. And Gary, as he's affectionately known, looked much, much cleaner in those second 2 innings. He gave up 4 singles in the first, but settled in nicely in innings 2 and 3. Gave his team a chance. They took the lead. And they've turned it over to Gorey here in the 4th and the 5th. And he'll face Spence, Keegan, and Gegenfertner here in inning number 5. There's that curveball. He had thrown nothing but fastballs. He threw 11 fastballs in that first inning. And then his first inning of work started off Spence with a fastball and finally throws his first curveball after 12 straight fastballs. Line to center. Gutsfeld is there, and Tyler makes the catch. Much easier than the catch he made to end the fourth, which was a sliding catch out in left center field.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk about that, but an impressive grab. Oh, almost ranging like right in front of Luke Yaknin, but I don't think Luke was quite going to get there.
And that's what you want your center fielder to do, right? I mean, he's got to take control out there. And 1 out for Keegan. First pitch fastball is popped up. Paxton calls everybody off. Makes the catch. 2 quick outs here in the 5th.
Pitcher number 13, Tucker Gegenfertner.
Gegenfertner now, he's 1 for 2. An RBI single and a pop out. First pitch swinging, the fastball fouled back.
Just beat there. A little bit late.
Most of the swings have been a little bit late on his hard fastball. There it is again. Oh, that almost caught my computer on the way down. That would have been bad. Eric would have had to have bought me a new computer. No balls, 2 strikes here on Gegenfertner. Did you just come back fastball again? He's thrown 1 curveball in 2 innings.
We'll see.
No, it's fastball.
Yeah, upstairs.
I was waiting for an answer. You didn't want to commit. As an analyst, you got to commit. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Gegenfertner. Gory's ready. Oh, the curveball had him completely fooled. And that is the 3rd strikeout for Gory. We'll talk more about that on the other side. Bottom of the 5th upcoming. Illinois Tech up 3-2. Bottom of the 5th, new pitcher for the Muskies is Riley Roberts, who will move from first base to the mound, and then Tucker Gegenfertner will move from the mound back to first base. So Gegenfertner went 4, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, walked 3, struck out 2, and he'll give way to Riley Roberts, who is making his 9th appearance out of the bullpen for Lakeland. No record, an ERA just under 4 on the season. 13 2/3 innings, 18 hits allowed. He's walked 7, walked only 2. Opponents are hitting .305 against Roberts, and his first batter will be Jonah Wilkes, who's 0 for 2. It'll be Wilkes, Bentz, DeGroot here in the 5th. Breaking ball in for a strike. Nothing in 2 on Wilkes.
It's an unusual move to see the pitcher go to first base and the first base go to the mound.
Yeah.
You don't see that too often.
No, you don't. Wilkes quickly in an 0-2 hole, though. Hits this out to left center field. That'll hang up, though, for Gregorius to make the catch. So Wilkes hits it hard again. Second straight at bat where he's hit the ball right on the button, but just found a glove.
Batting the catcher, number 35, Philip Bitt.
Got to feel good about the approach, though, right? You make solid contact. Eventually, those balls will find grass.
I know. He wants to extend that hitting streak, too.
There's another guy with a hitting streak, Philip Bentz, who's 0 for 1 today with a walk and a strikeout. He's got a 7-game streak on the line. He went 1 for 3 with an RBI in Game 1. Illinois Tech, 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Lakeland 2-5-2 here in Game 2. This is rolled softly to Sumpsian. 2 quick outs. Now Chris DeGroot. He's 1 for 2.
Christopher DeGroot.
Double to left center field in the second. Hit a ball sharply on the screws to Oakley Spence in the third. A line out. So 2 good at bats for the freshman here.
I think Coach Edward Ziefert down at third base likes DeGroot's walk-up song. He was beaming at DeGroot when he when he walked up to the plate.
I was thinking about the walk-up song, and I don't know the name of it, but I know it's
very familiar.
It's from Guardians of the Galaxy,
Right?
Which the name and the ball's bouncing. I think that came up and caught DeGroot in the side of the head, but he's going to be down at first painfully. With let's see if they give him a hit or an error there, but that ball from short hopped, missed the glove of Gegenfertner and hit DeGroot in the side of the head. At any rate, he'll be at first base with 2 outs, and it is going to be an E6. Third error of the game for Lakeland. Matt Bovee 0 for 2. 1 for 5 in the doubleheader. There goes the runner. The ball bounces out of the hands of South, and DeGroot will pick up a stolen base. So again, Scarlet Hawks trying to use their legs a little bit more here in Game 2. That's their 4th stolen base here of this second game. For DeGroot, that's his 3rd swipe of the year.
Worked out from so far on top 3-2. A couple of those runs manufactured by the stolen base.
Pitch upstairs to Bovee, 1-1. Matt with an RBI opportunity. There's just 5 knocked in this season in 20 games. As DeGroot at second with 2 outs. In the dirt, bounces away from South. Didn't get very far from him, didn't know where it went. And that allowed DeGroot to reach third on the wild pitch. Looked like I caught the umpire in the left foot.
Yeah. Those are always the worst when you go down to block something and you know you've blocked it or got a piece of it, but then you don't know where it went, and you're just you're looking around like help
your teammates
me,
are going. Your teammates are pointing and they're going there, which doesn't help. Fastball outside to Bovee, 3-1. Yaknin in the on-deck circle. Scarlet Hawks for a second time today have a runner at third with 2 outs. We'll see if they can get him in here. Last time Yaknin struck out with DeGroot at third. This time Bovee with a 3-1 count. Matt skies it to right. Right fielder Costello makes the catch. So once again, Illinois Tech strands a runner in scoring position. 5 full complete. Scarlet Hawks up 3-2. 3-2 as we go to the 6th. John Gorey out there for his 3rd inning of relief. The righties only needed 19 pitches to get through 2. He has 3 strikeouts, and that last strikeout to Tucker Gegenfertner was just unfair. Set him up with 3 straight fastballs. Had Gegenfertner expecting fastball, threw him the bender, and Gegenfertner didn't swing at it until it was past him. First pitch fastball misses to Gregorius, 1-0.
Yeah, it's still his first time going through the order. Once he gets to Sumsian, then he'll be at his 2nd time through the order, so still expecting to see a lot of fastballs.
That's it high and deep to left. Yaknin's back. He's on the track. It hits the base of the wall, and Gregorius will coast into 2nd with a leadoff double. So he's able to turn around that fastball from Gorey and hit it off the wall and left. A leadoff double here in the 6th for Lakeland. Bring up Riley Roberts, now the pitcher, who's 2 for 2 today.
That'll be the first time that Lakeland's really put pressure on John Gorey. He's been pretty free-flowing out there, 3 up, 3 down the last 2 innings, but now he's got to fend off the tying run at second base with no outs.
Benefits of a strikeout pitcher is you can keep those runners where they are when you're able to throw the ball over the plates. Could use a strikeout here of Roberts, who struck out 3 times in game 1. Punches it off the fists. Paxson is there, makes the catch. Not a strikeout, but it'll play. 1 out.
Yeah, just jammed him.
Right fielder number 42, Dylan Costello.
Now Dylan Costello, the right fielder, is 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks.
Yeah, a lot of Ks for the bottom of this Lakeland order so far in this game. 5 Ks from the 7, 8, 9 hole.
And 6 at-bats. High fastball. Bench jumps up to snag it. 1-0.
That's a pretty steep contrast to what we saw in game 1. Only 1 strikeout out of the 7, 8, 9 hole through that 9-inning game.
High fastball. Costello swings through it. Not a lot of, only 1 strikeout for Lakeland in game 1. Scarlet Hawks had 6. There's a fastball that misses, I guess. Fans to our right wanted that one. Looked pretty good. That 1-1 pitch, that's the big pitch in the at-bat, right? You go from either 2-1 or 1-2.
Yeah, the statistics diverge at that point.
Line drive, 1 hop to Bovey. He'll take the play at first to retire Costello. Gregorios will move to 3rd now with 2 outs. That'll bring up Caleb Sumsian. Sumsian struck out looking his first time up.
Yeah, so this kind of kicks off Gorey's 2nd time through the order, so it'll be interesting to see if he starts to lean on that curveball a little bit more.
He's only thrown 2 curveballs in the entire appearance so far. See what he starts Sumsian with. Fastball. 1-0.
Gorey's not too happy with that miss. Gives a little bit of a frown, stares at the sky. He's quite an animated guy. If you get the chance to watch Gorey in person, he's a fun watch.
The 1-0. Fastball cut on and missed. 1-1. I've only seen John pitch a couple of times this year, and I've come away incredibly impressed both times. Tries to check his swing. He did not. 1-2. When he commands that fastball, he is really, really hard to hit.
Yes, he is.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at 3rd, 2 outs. Gorey, the low set. The righty comes home. Fastball cut on and missed. Strike 3, and Gorey is pumped as he walks off the mound. He's got 4 Ks through 3. Lakeland strands a runner at 3rd. We go to the bottom of the 6th.
left fielder, number 3, Luke
Welcome back, and to
Yaknin.
kick off the bottom of the 6th for the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks lineup, it's going to be the 9-hole Luke Yaknin facing the Lakeland reliever Riley Roberts, who started the game at first base, did a little bit of a swap with the starting pitcher Gegenfurter, and is now on the mound. Luke Shows pulls back for a slash and fouls it away. It's going to be 0-1. Yaknin so far in this game has a strikeout and also reached on an error to the first baseman where his speed put him aboard, and in game 1 went 0 for 4, so looking for his first hit on the day. We've talked a lot about how he has been a big improvement from freshman to sophomore year coming into the game, hitting around that 340 mark, so looking for him to get something kicked off here. He's got an 0-2 count against Roberts. Kicks and fires, and that's a fastball down, blocked by the catcher South, who was the previous second baseman. So it's 1-2 to Luke. Regardless of what happens here, we'll see the leadoff hitter Tyler Gutzfeld, who's in the on-deck circle next. The 1-2. So fastball swung on and missed by Yaknin, and that's going to be the first strikeout in Roberts' relief appearance.
That was a nicely located fastball, a little bit up, a little bit belt high, outside corner. Yaknin struggled to catch up with it.
Yeah, kind of able to change the eye level a couple of times and got Yaknin there. So now Tyler Gutzfeld will come to the plate for the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks, and he also swings and misses on a high fastball.
A little bit late on that one from Gutzfeld. Don't normally see him behind a fastball like that.
Yeah, and we haven't really seen that today. I mean, so far today he's 3 for 3 with a double. He's going to sky that one out to center field, and the center fielder Day is going to roam over, and never mind. It's going to be called off by the left fielder Gregorius. They're going to have a discussion about that. I'm not sure that was exactly what Day had in mind, but regardless, the out is recorded, and Michael Paxson will come to the plate for the Scarlet Hawks here with 2 outs.
Saw Day waving off the left fielder Gregorius after that. Gregorius was behind home plate for the last game. He's out in left field, so maybe not a natural left fielder. So center fielder, try to help out his corner outfielder.
That ball's hit sharply up the middle by Michael Paxson, and that will be a single for him to get a little bit of something started with 2 outs here, and that'll bring up the number 3 hole, Jack Fryer.
And Paxson now 2 hits in the game. Let's see if he uses his legs. He already has a couple of stolen bases today.
Yeah, basically manufactured a run in the 3rd inning, stealing first and stealing third, puts him in position to score on an RBI ground out by Finch. Wouldn't be surprised to see him in motion.
Yeah, with Fryer on deck, with Fryer at the plate, if Paxson gets thrown out, you got Jack leading off, who's normally your leadoff hitter. So
right. Jack Fryer's also had a good day. He's reached 3 times. He's 1 for 1 so far in game 2 with 2 walks. That's going to be strike 1 to Fryer. In game 1, Fryer also had a knock, went 1 for 5 with an RBI in that one. And we've talked a lot about how Fryer is leading the team in RBIs, at least coming into today. I don't think that standing has changed.
No, he's got 20.
And there's Paxson. He's off, and the throw down to second base is going to be in time, but not fielded cleanly by the second baseman Spence, and so that will be the 3rd stolen base of the day for Michael Paxson.
Yeah, that ball beat Paxson to second base, but fortunate the second baseman Spence wasn't able to field it cleanly, and home plate umpire just notified the Illinois Tech bench not to make noise as the pitcher was about to throw. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Never seen that. I've never seen them tell. I've seen them, tell the dugout, like, hey, you can't say that if they're saying something that, is borderline inappropriate or maybe not inappropriate, but, kind of going after somebody on the opposite team. I've never seen them being like, hey, you need to be quiet.
Yeah, that's strange.
So, regardless,
this isn't golf, man.
It's a 1-2 count to Jack Fryer. We got a quiet field now, and that ball's going to get away from the catcher South, and that will be a wild pitch to advance Paxson.
You noticed that too, right? It's like eerily quiet.
Yeah, now it's
weird. Yeah.
they're going to do like a silent night. You know where they do that in basketball where the entire crowd is
just quiet
until like the 10th point or something, and then they go nuts. They're not going to be quiet if Fryer can plate Paxton here, that's for sure. It's 2-2 with 2 outs to the sophomore, and he hits this one high out to right field. Not going to be very deep, as Costello able to bring it in and leave another Scarlet Hawk stranded. So we will advance to the top of the 7th. Scarlet Hawks still lead by 1.
Back here in the 7th, 3 shutout innings for John Gorey, and that'll be enough. No walks, 1 hit. He struck out 4. He looked fantastic. And he'll turn it over to the lefty, Ethan Jensen, here in the 7th inning. And Jensen will face 9-1-2 in the Lakeland lineup. Chris Day, Logan South, Oakley Spence. First pitch from Jensen. Senior from Corvallis, Oregon, misses inside for a ball. Chris Day 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts. Downstairs for a ball. Lakeland scored 2 in the first. They haven't scored anything since. First 3 innings, Alejandro Garcia, then John Gorey for 3, and now Scarlet Hawks have to find 9 outs out of the rest of their bullpen. Jensen misses up and away, 3-0.
Yeah, it's been the game of leaving runners stranded. I'm seeing 5 runners left on base for Lakeland, and then 8 runners left on base for Illinois Tech thus far. So pitching on both sides have been able to limit the damage.
6 of those base runners that Illinois Tech have left on have been in scoring position. Multiple times they had runners at third with 2 outs and haven't been able to get that run home. 3-1 now on Day. Jensen misses high and away, so the leadoff walk here in the 7th puts the tying run on base. Garcia walked 1 in his 3 innings. Gorey didn't walk anybody. Now the catcher, Logan South, who's 0 for 2 with a walk.
Yeah, and you don't like to see the 9-hole walked, right? You don't want to. It's much better to face the top of the order with 1 out and nobody on rather than nobody out and runner on.
Lefty on lefty. First pitch in for a strike. 0-1.
Last time we saw Jensen was in Game 2 of the doubleheader against Rockford. Pitched 2/3 of an inning in the 9th, and giving up 1 run there, but also recording a strikeout and ultimately getting his job done and keeping the lead for Illinois Tech to finish that one off.
Currently 0-2. Scarlet Hawks looking for the sweep of this doubleheader. Jensen up 0-2 on South. Ethan deals, breaking ball up and in. Jensen this season, 3 1/3 innings. He's given up 9 hits. Has 3 strikeouts and a walk. The 1-2. Breaking ball, foul tipped in and out of the glove of Phillip Bentz. And you saw Bentz kind of nod his head after that ball fell to the ground. You know he wanted to squeeze it.
Yeah, so Gory, who just came out of the game, he would always yell at me, "Squeeze it," whenever something like that. And I just kept telling him, I'm like, I'm just catching the ball, man. If the batter hits it, like, I don't have time to react to that.
Pitch misses just away. Good pitch on that 1-2 offering from Jensen. Yeah, you need like microsecond response time to be able to react to that.
It's impossible.
The 2-2. Grounded to the right side. Fielded by Bovey, and Jensen does a nice job of getting over there and covering the bag as Paxton had ranged far to his right. Day will go down to second on the 4-1 putout, 1 away in the 7th.
Yeah, you don't see that one too often in the scoreboard, a 4-1, but good job by Jensen getting off the mound there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a heady play, right? I mean, it really is. If he doesn't get over and cover the bag because he thinks Pax is going to get back there and cover first, all of a sudden you're first and second, nobody out.
Right.
It looks like that's going to be it. Yeah, so Jensen just for the left-hander South, he retires him, and Ed Ziefert's going to go back to his bullpen. Needs to find 8 more outs. New pitcher for the Scarlet Hawks out of the bullpen with 1 out in the 7th inning is the right-hander Cameron Bracewell. Cam making his 7th appearance of the season for Ed Ziefert. His 2nd out of the bullpen. He's 1-1 on the year with a 5.27, 25 Ks in 27 innings for Bracewell. His last time out, well, that was just 2 days ago. 7-inning performance against Marion, 6 hits, 4 runs, where he struck out 3. Last time I saw Bracewell was in a relief appearance back on the 26th against Rockford. He pitched 2 scoreless innings, striking out 3 in that one. And he comes in here with a runner at second and 1 out in the 7th. So the Illinois Tech ace on the mound here in the 7th inning in a game that Ed Ziefert really wants to win. You want to get the split of this doubleheader. You got a 3-2 lead in the 7th. Breaking ball in for a strike, 1-1.
This is a win at all costs scenario. So if Cam says, yeah, I can give you a couple innings, then you know they're going to throw him a couple innings.
1-1 on Spence, who's 1 for 3 in game 2. 4 for 8 in the series. That misses a little bit away, I guess. 2-1.
It was a good pitch there. The Illinois Tech dugout thought it was good, at least.
It's gotten awfully quiet here at the ballpark. 2 balls, 1 strike. Our first disengagement for Bracewell.
Yeah, it's eerily quiet now. I don't like it.
It feels a little strange. Like now that you hear it, you notice it. The 2-1. Bracewell drops it in for a strike, 2-2.
Yeah, that's a curveball from Bracewell. He's mostly been a fastball slider guy to kind of start the year, and to some extent abandoned that curveball that kind of made him who he was the first couple seasons, and he's gotten back to it in his last couple of appearances. Looked really good, worked really well. So
fastball foul tipped, held on to this time by Phillip Bentz, and Bracewell gets the strikeout.
That's a squeeze it scenario.
Yes, he squeezed it. More strikeout for Cam. 9th of the day for Illinois Tech pitching, and now it'll be Zach Keegan with a runner at second and 2 outs. Keegan 0 for 3 here in game 2. Yeah, just a fantastic pitching performance by John Gorey. 3 innings, 1 hit, 4 Ks, through 31 pitches in 3 innings. So we talk about efficiency, and when you need innings out of your pen, you got to be efficient, and 10 pitches an inning will get it done.
It's about as good as it gets. You can't ask for much more. Only 1 hit in those 3 innings, too.
1-0 fastball driven to left, but that'll look foul. I'm not going to be fooled again.
You're looking for a similar thing here out of Cam, right? You're probably looking for 1 to 2 innings. Very efficient. Keep his pitch count down.
Yeah, ideally, if he can get you through the 8th, that would be great. Give you an inning and 2/3, and then figure out the 9th. 1-1 fastball in for a strike. You and I were talking in between innings. We could very well see the freshman Carson Weiss in that 9th inning, depending on how many pitches Cam needs to get through an inning and 2/3. The 1-2. Bracewell. Fastball late on it is Keegan. He'll sky it to the right and out of play.
There's some activity in the bullpen, but I don't see any pitchers quite yet. I see Timmy Old swinging a bat.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Chris Day at second. Bracewell with the 1-2. Another foul ball to the right and out of play. Keegan staying alive.
Good AB here by Keegan. We just talked about efficiency, and one way to really put a wrinkle in that plan is to have good ABs on the other side.
Bracewell with the 1-2. Curveball missing away, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Bracewell on the year, 25 strikeouts, 14 walks, and 27-plus innings of work. 2-2. Fastball popped to the right. I don't think Paxton's going to have a play at that one. Maybe he will. No, he doesn't. There's a lot of room over there.
There's a lot of room, and it's really tough for us to see.
It stays 2-2. So 3 straight foul balls off to the right by Keegan. 2 fastballs and a curveball. Just able to get a piece of them. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second in the 7th. Bracewell set. Curveball in, 3-2. Keegan reaches. Gegenfertner with hits. The payoff pitch. Called strike 3 with the curveball. Dropped it in. Back-to-back Ks for Bracewell. Sends us to the bottom of the 7th. Finch, Wilkes, and Bentz here in the 7th inning against Riley Roberts, who's thrown 2 scoreless so far. Illinois Tech has stranded a base runner in scoring position in every single inning of this game so far. They've stranded 9 total for the game through 6. Part of the reason it sits 3-2, they've had base runners. They just haven't been able to pick up that big hit to open that lead up. Leading off will be Jack Finch, who's 0 for 3 in Game 1. He's 2 for 7 in the doubleheader. A couple of runs knocked in. Last time up, he grounded out with the bases loaded. The 0-1. In on the hands. Golfs it to shallow left. Gregorius will come in and make the catch. So Finch now 0 for 4. One away in the 7th. Now Jonah Wilkes, who's still looking to extend that 4-game hit streak.
Jonah Wilkes.
He's put some good barrel on baseballs today. Just hasn't found any outfield grass, so see if his luck changes.
Especially those last 2 plate appearances. Back in the 3rd, he had a low line drive to the shortstop. Last time up, hit a fly ball to left. 1 for 7 now in the doubleheader. A 1 fastball stays up, 1-1. Roberts into his 3rd inning of relief. Fouled back, 1-2.
Yeah, Roberts has looked good so far, only allowing 1 hit and 1 walk and stranded 4. He's had a handful of errors that have put traffic on, but been able to deal with it.
And just 6 earned runs in under 16 innings of work this season with his 2 innings today. Again, in on the hands, popped foul, and then he'll leave the field of play. And definition of pitching to contacts, he's pitched 16 innings on the season. He has 8 strikeouts and just 2 walks.
A lot of strikes.
A 1-2 count here on Wilkes. Stays high, 2-2.
You'll take a lot of strikes out of your first baseman.
Yeah, right? No kidding. 2-2. That's going to be called strike 3. Pretty large strike zone here in game 2. That'll be the second K for Roberts. Wilkes now 0 for 4. Now Bentz is 0 for 2. He has a 7-game hit streak on the line as well. Lakeland scored 2 in the top of the first. Illinois Tech scored 1 in the bottom of the inning. Right back to Roberts. He'll retire Bentz. Bentz is now 0 for 3, and Illinois Tech goes quietly here in the 7th. Cam Bracewell back out there for the 8th inning. He faced 2 batters in the 7th, struck them both out. The runner at second base will come in on a clean inning here in the 8th to face Tucker Gegenfertner, Sean Gregorius, and Riley Roberts. Gegenfertner 1 for 3 in the game, 1 for 7 in the series. Has the lone as an RBI single in the first inning. Last time up, he struck out. That was against John Gorey. Fastball high.
Illinois Tech really depending on Cam here to put up a 0. Offense has been pretty quiet for the last 4 innings. There's been a lot of zeros on the scoreboard between these two teams, and really depending on Cam on a short day's rest to put up another one.
Yeah, pitched 7 innings just 2 days ago. Back out there after throwing 14 pitches to 2 batters in the 7th. Back out here for the 8th. He's 1-1 on Gegenfertner. Inside 2-1. Downstairs, we really have in this doubleheader, even with that 10-run 6th inning, we've seen some really good pitching in this doubleheader. You talk about the 5 1/3 innings for Joe Bellflower before things kind of went sideways on the Scarlet Hawks, but that's popped up.
Behind us.
That's going to be right on the roof to our left.
That's the closest. That's the
closest it's come. Yeah, and you still didn't move. That's impressive. Would you have tried to barehand it?
No, I would have gotten out of the way.
You got out of the way? All right. Yeah, we've seen some really good pitching. Joe Bellflower pitched really quite well through 5 innings before he fatigued. We saw 3 1/3 innings from Mason Kim, who really settled in nicely after walking a couple of batters. Garcia pitched well today as there's a base hit for Gegenfertner leading off the 8th. John Gorey pitched well. Ethan Jensen got the job done. Cam Bracewell came in, struck out the first 2 batters he faced, and he's got to get 6 more outs. I mean, Sean Gregorius, who's 2 for 3 today.
All right, and that's not to discredit the Lakeland pitching staff, who has also been pretty incredible. Gegenfertner this game, 4 innings, 2 earned runs, couple Ks. Riley Roberts so far is through 3 with no runs and a couple of Ks. So
gets the bunt down. It's a foul ball. Yeah, you're right. Game one, Thor Dunham, three earned runs in 6 2/3 innings. So on both sides, we've seen some good pitching.
Makes for a fun baseball game from the viewer's perspective, right?
Yeah.
Keeps the games close, makes every AB a little bit more important.
It's one of the things I love about the game of baseball is you can be entertained by a 15-12 game. You can be entertained by a 3-2 game. No balls, 1 strike. We'll see if Gregorius is dropping down another bunt here. He's not. That hits the glove of Finch. He'll go over to first in time. Nice throw by the freshman to retire Gregorius. That's not an easy play for Finch. The backhand, that long throw across the diamond.
Yeah, good job by Finch there. He's had some growing pains playing third base at the college position, or at the college level, but very nice play there. Able to get that backhand, kind of set his feet, make a good throw, and collect the out. That's what you need when you're up 1 late in the game. You got to collect the outs that are given.
Now Riley Roberts, 2 for 3. You got a big target over there at first base, and Michael Paxson. So you just got to put it somewhere near the bag, and he'll probably catch it.
Yeah, he's not a small target, that's for sure.
Roberts started the game at first. He's now pitched 3 innings, and he finds himself in an 0-2 hole. Bracewell waiting for that sign to come over on the watch. He gets it. Now he digs in at 0-2. Roberts 3 hits, 3 RBI in the doubleheader. Has an RBI opportunity here. The 0-2 swings and misses. Got him. That was the slider. And that's strikeout number 3 for Cam Bracewell. It's a nasty pitch.
Yeah, it's a good slider there. That's really why he developed it. Like I said, he came in as more of a fastball curveball guy, and then kind of picked up that slider somewhere along the road in order to get more strikeouts, because his fastball and curveball were great, but they weren't generating a lot of swing and miss. So
Well, he got one.
Able to see it there, yeah.
And I was going to say, he got a swing and miss there. So 2 outs, runner at second for Dylan Costello, who's 0 for 3. A big out here for Bracewell, looking to give head coach Ed Ziefert an inning and 2/3 scoreless out of the bullpen. Fastball a little up, 1-0. Oh, hits him. Curveball didn't curve. Catches Costello on the back shoulder. He'll go down to first. Go-ahead run at first base now for Caleb Sumption. Sumption 1 for 3 here in game 2. 2 for 6 this afternoon. Again, Fertner at second. Costello at first. First pitch in, strike 1 to Sumption. Last 2 at-bats for Caleb, strikeouts. 1 looking, 1 swinging, both against John Gorey. 11 strikeouts here in game 2 for Scarlet Hawks pitching, just 2 walks so far. The 0-1. That's hit hard, and the catch is made by Jack Finch. So Finch, right place, right time, playing good defense down in the hot corner here in the 8th. Bottom of the 8th upcoming. Scarlet Hawks still lead by a run. Bottom of the 8th. Scarlet Hawks looking to tack on to this 1-run lead. They'll send up 7-8-9 against Riley Roberts. It'll be Chris DeGroot, Matt Bovey, Luke Yakinen here in the 8th against Riley Roberts, who's given Lakeland 3 shutout innings so far out of the bullpen. DeGroot 1 for 3. Doubled the center his first time up. Hit a hard line out to second in the 3rd and then reached on an E6. Was stranded at 3rd back in the 5th. He's got a 1-0 count here. Fastball on the outside corner, 1-1.
Yeah, if there's ever a time to scratch across another run, it's right about now. A 1-run lead. You're going to look to close out the game, get 3 more outs in the top of the 9th, so you'd like to make that lead at least 2.
Try to pick up 1 more somehow. And Lakeland half expecting a bunt as Zach Keegan is, and even with the grasp, but now with 2 strikes, takes a couple steps back. The 1-2 from Roberts to DeGroot. Popped up on the infield. Keegan makes the catch. 1 away. Now Bovey. Matt 0 for 3. 1 for 6 in the doubleheader. And a double and a run scored in game 1. First pitch to Bovey is fastball in there for a strike. Riley Roberts has looked really good. 3 1/3 shutout innings. He hasn't walked anybody. He struck out a pair. Gave up a single to Paxson back in the 6th, but that's been it.
Yeah, he's been lights out. And we talked about how, looking at his stat line, his formula appears to be weak contact and just throw a lot of strikes, collect a lot of outs, and that's basically what he's done here. Only a couple of Ks and a lot of soft contact. Scarlet Hawks have only really pieced together 1 hit against him, so executing the game plan thus far.
Fastball right down the middle. 1-2 here on Bovey. And Scarlet Hawks have had 7 hits, 3 walks. Lakeland's made 3 errors. Illinois Tech's only turned it into 3 runs, though. And now a hit by pitch. Oh, foul ball. They're saying that hit the knob of his bat. It looks like. We'll see if the home plate umpire tries to get help here, but Matt apparently has a mark on his hand, and it looks like he's struggling a little bit with that left hand. Normally it hits the knob of the bat. It sounds like it hits the knob of the bat.
It also doesn't go up towards the backstop.
Right.
It usually goes down into the ground.
And that got him on the hand. Almost no question about that. We'll see what the umpires decide here as they get together now. Yeah, so Matt is, I don't know if he's even going to be able to continue the at-bat here. That ball hit him in the hand, and he's going to try to get the wrap back on, but trying to see if he can grip the bat. Can't get the batting glove back on, though, so he's going to try to go back out there without the glove.
He's laughing. He thinks it's comical.
Well,
that's a good sign. He's not in too much pain, right?
Well, it's 1-2 here on Bovey.
Oh.
Ball don't lie, baby. Matt Bovey with a base hit to center field. And Illinois Tech has a 1-out base runner here after all in the 8th. Oh, that is the definition of ball don't lie. Next pitch, the base hit to center field for Matt Bovey. Now Luke Yaknin.
Oh, the Illinois Tech dugout is fired up right now.
Yep. Let's see if Matt tries to use his legs now. Yaknin tries that drag bunt, hooks it a little bit foul.
Good idea there. Keegan was, I mean, he's in kind of where he's been playing Luke the whole time, but there's still a lot of space there with Luke's speed.
Yeah, if Luke if he gets a bunt down the third base line, even with where Keegan's playing, he's probably not throwing Yaknin out. I don't think I've ever seen a dugout so pumped about a 1-out single to center with nobody on base. The 0-1, he squares the bunt again. The ball pops out of the hands of South for a second time today, and Bovey will use his legs to get into scoring position. Matt, that's his 8th stolen base of the season. He's now a runner in scoring position in a 1-1 count. Called a strike, 1-2. It looks like the belt of the pitcher Riley Roberts broke. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here on the number 9 hitter Luke Yaknin. Tyler Gutzfeld in the on-deck circle. Scarlet Hawks looking to scrape across one more run here in the 8th. 1-2 to Luke. Up and in, 2-2.
Very interesting vibe that we got here.
Yeah, it really is.
We were told to be quiet earlier. The dugouts were quiet, and now there's tension.
Yaknin to the right side. That's scooped by Gegan Furtner. He will retire Yaknin. Over to third goes Bovey. Yeah, it really is between the message from the home plate umpire to the Illinois Tech dugout telling them to be quiet, to Coach Ziefert just getting into it a little bit with the home plate umpire, to that missed call, to the single by Bovey here in the 8th. It's been a weird couple of innings here down the stretch.
Yeah, I got like some eeriness,
eerie
silence. And
Gutzfeld with a runner at third and 2 outs.
Usually when there's tension, it's between the two teams.
Yeah, it's a weird vibe, but that vibe could be lightened a whole lot here with a Gutzfeld base hit. Behind the fastball, 1-1 on Gutzfeld, who's 3 for 4 today. 5 for 9 in the doubleheader. Yeah, Bovey down at third with a 1-1 count. Gutzfeld inside outs it out of play, and he's in a 1-2 hole.
He's been behind the fastball on Roberts the last couple of ABs. Super uncharacteristic of him, so I wonder if he's just maybe not seeing it as
I was going to say, is that a matter of not maybe picking it up quite as well out of the pitcher's hand?
It's possible.
The 1-2 here to Gutzfeld. Gutzfeld high and deep to right. Costello is back. He's on the track. It's gone. Tyler Gutzfeld, number 6. And Illinois Tech has added 2 in the bottom of the 8th. It's 5-2. Let's see how that Matt Bovey hand looks here on that high five. Gutzfeld with the bomb to right here in the 8th. And Illinois Tech has added on to their lead.
I think he's seeing it okay.
Yeah. Sometimes, David, you just need your best players to be your best players, right?
Yes,
and Tyler Gutzfeld here unloading in the ninth, giving Tech a little bit of breathing room. It's 5-2. Now Paxton's 2 for 4 today. Fastball away. Paxton's been using his legs. He has 3 stolen bases today. We talked about it's not very often that you see a pitcher on the mound. It's also not very often that you see a first baseman steal 3 bags in a game. 1-1, launched in the air to left. Gregorius goes back. He's on the track. It's gone. Back-to-back jacks for the Hawks here in the 8th. It's 6-2. There's that power we were talking about from number 99. That's his second blast of the year. Gutsfeld and Paxton go back-to-back. It's a 3-run 8th. It's 6-2.
The shortstop, number 13, Jack Fryer.
Now Jack Fryer.
Jack swinging for the fence.
I was going to say, Jack wants one now too, right?
Yep.
He wants his first. 6-2 Scarlet Hawks, bottom of the 8th. Fastball on the outer edge.
Man, and we talk about momentum, and when Bovee got called back on that hit by pitch foul ball call and then got the single, the momentum was over there, and man, did they capitalize on that offense.
Yeah, they absolutely did. I mean, you're absolutely right. It was quiet. It was, I mean, you said it. It was weird after Matt got hit by that pitch and all that was going on between the home plate umpire and Ed Ziefert and Matt with the base hit, stole second, and just a complete change of events here in the 8th inning.
That's how you wake up an offense that's been pretty lackluster against Roberts, who's been lights out. You piss them off, and then they're ready to go.
The 1-2 here to Fryer. Jack out to right. Costello will settle underneath it, make the catch, and Illinois Tech is retired in the 8th, but not after back-to-back bombs by Gutsfeld and Paxton. We go to the 9th. Illinois Tech up 4. For the Scarlet Hawks in the 9th inning with that cushion, courtesy of back-to-back home runs by Gutsfeld and Paxton. Weiss on the season, 1-2. This is his 7th appearance of the season, his 2nd out of the pen. He's had some good moments. He's had some rough moments as a freshman. But his last relief outing, or his first relief outing, was quite good. That was the 1 inning against Rockford where he picked up the save. Looking to close this one out here. And he's quickly 0-2 on Chris Day. So Cam Bracewell, an inning and 2/3, striking out 3. And now Carson Weiss trying to finish things off. Weiss with the 0-2. Fastball popped up on the right side of the diamond. Paxton will call everybody off. And he makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down here in the 9th inning.
Catcher number 4, Logan South.
Right now, John Gorey in line to pick up his first win of the season, which I think makes sense. 3 innings of 1-hit shutout ball for the hard-throwing right-hander.
Yeah, I'm surprised because he has 2 starts on the season. And they won both of those games, but he just never
didn't go long
picked
enough
up for the win.
Yeah, didn't go long enough. This is South, who's 0 for 3. Weiss out there just throwing strikes, throwing hard, throwing strikes. 5 pitches, 5 strikes for the freshman so far. Slash to left. That'll go out of play. It will. Weiss 15 Ks and 15 walks in 22 innings of work this year. He's up on South, 0-2. Fastball, little up, little out, 1-2. Oakley spends in the on-deck circle. The 1-2. Breaking ball right there, called strike 3. Nice pitch by Carson Weiss. 2 away here in the 9th.
Second baseman.
Good job there by Carson. A lot of fastballs. Mixes in a curveball. Catches him by surprise, and he's 1 out away from closing this one out.
Yeah, closing it out quickly. He's got to deal with Oakley Spence, who's 1 for 4 here in game 2. First pitch missing away. First ball thrown by Weiss here in his relief outing. So it was Garcia for 3, Gorey for 3, Jensen for a third, Bracewell for an inning and 2/3. And now Weiss hit out to center. Gutsfeld is there. Tyler makes the catch, and Illinois Tech does gain a split of this doubleheader. Carson Weiss comes in, pitches a perfect 9th to set Lakeland down. Illinois Tech wins 6-2. 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Scarlet Hawks here in this one. 2 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for Lakeland. The winner is John Gorey. He improves to 1-1 on the season. The loss goes to Tucker Gegenfertner. He drops to 1-3 on the season. The game takes 2 hours and 27 minutes to play. Well, Illinois Tech, you always say to me, you play for the splits, and when you lose game 1, you got to take game number 2. And the Scarlet Hawks took care of business here in game number 2. So, David Cooper, thank you so much. Love having you with me on this. Makes my life so much easier. Thank you very much. David's going to have the call for you tomorrow, right? Illinois Tech and North Central right here at 11 a.m.?
1 p.m.
1 p.m.
I believe is the start time.
All right, 1 p.m. Make sure you check in with David for that. But until then, this has been Illinois Tech Baseball on the Illinois Tech YouTube channel. Take care, everybody.